out, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my ring. You can see all my pen in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You not happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting walk. Got a big Benz like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with it, no, it's top notch.
I got that chicken to golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I died.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. First carry for Darius Geis, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3. Following the penalty, it's Geis. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game. So
Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 12 carries, 79 yards, and a touchdown.
That's a good start to the season. They got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started, and they expect that to get tuned up and get better as the season moves on.
They go play action here on 1st down. And some space here. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Touchdown, Cowboys. DJ Chark, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
Do you think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
They start on the ground with Geis. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On second down, here's Trubisky. This one complete to Jordan Reed. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now, saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And we'll see what the decision is here as they've got a 4th and 1 come, and the first play will be a field goal try. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start on the ground with Elliott. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Forced out to his left. Looking deep, and that's caught inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
A first down carry by Elliott.
Holding offense.
That's on the Pro Bowl guard from Notre Dame, Zach Martin. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And the defensive there, that was a battle. He just made a really nice play.
A really nice play, making sure his body position was correct. And how about the throw? Zipped it in there.
And it results in the touchdown. The point after is good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. This is taken at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. On 3rd down, Trubisky. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big play here for the Cowboys. 43 yards. Well, a big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to a really, really hot start.
Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
That is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, Trubisky. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Jordan Reed has it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Trubisky to throw again. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, the children right there on the brink, aren't they?
He's going to find Gallup here complete. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Prescott to throw it. Rolling to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. On 2nd down, Elliott. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made.
He's got daylight. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, third quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. DJ Chark, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This is taken at the 3. And now running right through it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Yeah, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Now, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go. 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott sliding out of the pocket. Open man right side is Shark. That goes for a gain of 31. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still...
Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. Off the play fake, Prescott on the move to his left. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. He got 29 yards that time. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. DJ Chark, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
This one caught by Crowder. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Trubisky now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Able to get away, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, a 22. Now Trubisky on 1st down. Got a man, that's Allison. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And it's 3rd and short. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. The 13 yards that time at a first. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Throwing here, Prescott. Flush to his right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Play action now. Prescott rolling to his left. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Cooper again the target. And now it's 2nd down.
Finally a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Looking to throw. Prescott steps away. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. One last shot for Trubisky. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Dallas, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia.